Hi everyone, how are you? Hope everybody's good. My name is Miss Mmehela Kumbi. I am a registered industrial psychologist and I'm just here to share a few pointers with regards to the profession, the industrial and organizational profession, for what you need to study from undergrad, your honors and your masters, and what industrial psychology entails, in literally like in basic terms. So especially in the context of South Africa. So today we're going to be exploring the fascinating field of industrial psychology, which is also called the IOP or the IO psychology, a profession which bridges the concept or the world of psychology in the context of a workplace. Industrial psychologists, they are situated or mostly placed in an organizational space or organizations or company or anything related to the work context. So industrial psychologists, they play a critical or a crucial role in understanding as well as predicting and improving human behavior within organizations. So for you to be registered as an industrial psychologist, you also need to know that that is literally going to be your role as an IO psychologist or as a psychological profession, of which you also need to be registered with the Health Profession Council of South Africa, which is the HPCSA. So let's just get into it. We're going to talk about the role of industrial psychologists and what you need to study, as well as the generic concept of IOP. So industrial psychologist, sometimes as I've mentioned called IO psychologist, applies the psychological principles as well as research methods that are able or enables us to solve certain work challenges or problems that can enhance the quality of a work life in organization. So as for instance, so IO psychologists, those who are registered and those who are practicing as industrial psychologists within organizations are required or expected to be doing assessment or assessing, diagnosing, evaluating work-related psychopathology as well, such as your work stresses, burnouts, mental health concern, as well as the work-life balance, and as well as administering any therapeutic interventions such as trauma briefing or trauma related interventions in the work settings. So there are few main streams under industrial psychology, so I will also discuss that now. One of them is talent management as well as human resources. This entails the human capital of individuals within organizations, in organizations. How do we transform employees to perform better? How do we assess? How do we recruit? How do we select? And all those kind of things. So in talent management as well as human resource management or human capital aspects or concept or realities, you find wherein this is where we do the designing of fair as well as valid recruitment and selection processes, as well as developing psychological assessment for candidate evaluations, where we evaluate individuals who are suitable for specific work structures, and also developing your anything that is related to job descriptions and job fit and all those kind of things, job definitions related to individuals as well as related to the job. So anything that has to do with a specific role, industrial psychologists also are in charge of developing your job descriptions, yes, as well as assessing the performance of management system as well as employment appraisals are what industrial psychologists currently doing. And the other common aspect related to industrial psychology in the work context is training and development. So this is where in industrial psychologists maybe will be hired or will be required in an organization to offer advices that can enable the organization to move in a better aspect or move in a better way with regards to the employees. How do they train employees? With training methods or approaches can be implemented within organizational structures. So in terms of identifying the training needs, any training needs or needs of analysis within organizations, organizational structures, managers, employees, and the sorts, that can help develop the competency frameworks of organizations, as well as in designing and evaluating training programs to enhance employee skills as well as motivation. So this also falls part of training and development. We also have a framework within employee wellness and work adjustment. This is where an organizational psychologist might be working, or might be tasked, or might be hired to be an organizational wellness specialist, or an employee employee well-being specialist, wherein they will be able to promote wellness as well as psychological health in the workplace. And this is wherein they will implement or come up or suggest initiatives that has to deal with the well-being of an employee, and as well as designing stress management programs, maybe your team buildings, leadership transformation, employee intelligence, emotional intelligence, as well as the work-life balance initiatives. And then we go to the organizational development. This is where in OI psychologists in position of trying to find good structures within the cultures of the organization, and the transformation as well as the structure of the organization, and how can it be moved forward. So in this aspect, where we find that industrial psychologists will do your analysis as well as your diagnosis of the organizational culture as well as the organizational structure, and then they will be in a position where they facilitate or implement change management as well as leadership development, as well as team development, individual development, and the sorts. This also to improve teamwork structures, improving as well the organization transformation, that they move in a much more better way. And most of the time you find that they are responsible for improving or facilitating teamwork initiatives that can enhance communication and build trust, as well as enhance job satisfactions. The other aspect is with regards to the research as well as data analysis. This is where in industrial psychologists or behavioral psychologists are tasked to be in organizations to do research and conduct research, workplace researchers, wherein they are enabled to understand productivity, morale, and turnover, as well as using statistical techniques that can guide the decision making and policy formulation in organizations. So in essence, industrial psychologists ensure that relationship between people and their work environment is both effective and humane, and as well as relatable, and then as well as creating conditions wherein employees can thrive and organization can perform optimally. So let's get into the qualifications. What qualifications one needs to have to be an industrial psychologist or to register as an industrial psychologist. Obviously you need to do your bachelor in commerce, or your bachelor in science, under the aspect or under the field of industrial psychology, that you will need to do your research within different universities across the country. This is where you will do your NQF level 7. This is the bachelor's degree. Then you will move to your NQF level 8, which is the honors degree, and that majors in industrial psychology. And then you will move into the master's aspect that deals with the professional master's, which is the coursework. And few universities within the context of South Africa, they do offer these qualification. So you just go on the internet and search, and then inquire, call, or send an email with regards to which university can be best suited for your needs, because some they offer full-time, some they offer part-time. So you must just do your research in detail to find which university will be best suited for you. So then after that, you will move into your practicum training, which is the internship that sometimes runs between 12 to 18 months, depending on an organization. There is the structured internship as well as the unstructured internship. The structured internship is where most of the organizations will be offering an internship for a period of that year, and you're most likely to get remuneration about that. And then there's the unstructured one, where you can identify a organization that can help you complete that internship, but you need to develop your program yourself, and then you send it to the HPCSA. So once you're done with your training, which is the internship, you need to move into writing the board exams. So writing the board exams also has its own requirement. Then that means that you need to be in contact with the HPCSA on what requirements are required by the HPCSA for one to be able to write the board exam. So once you're done with your board exam, let's say that you've made it, you passed, then you are able to register as an industrial psychologist and then join the magnitude of the most fascinating and amazing profession in South Africa, as well as in the whole context of South Africa. So then once you are done registered, that's when in the hard work starts. Now you need to start to look for networks. This is where you need to maybe look out for people who have been registered before on your LinkedIn, and then continue with your continuous profession development, which is the CPD points, which is required by HPCSA. So which means you would need to attend workshops as well as sessions, conferences that offer CPD points so that you are compliant, because you need to be updated with the current and the context realities or knowledges or transformation or changes within the concept of psychology. We know that there's AI, there's technological advancement, and there's the fourth industrial revolution. So as we move into this new concept of the world transformation, we need to also update ourselves. So HPCSA requires us to always be updated. So it means that in a year, for now, I know that they do require 30 CPD points, and which means that you need to attend conferences or do certain reviews that can actually help you with regards to accumulating those points. And this can also help you with registering with bodies like SAISA, as well as SABP, as well as SIOPSA. They offer certain sessions that can give you some. They're paid CPD points, some are free. So when you are registered as a member in these bodies, professional bodies, you are able to accumulate those points. So it's very important that you register yourself in this body so that you can accumulate those CPD points, because HPCSA doesn't play when it comes to that. So in summary, industrial psychology plays a vital role in shaping the modern world of work, ensuring that organizations operate effectively and efficiently while respecting the psychological well-being of their employees. Becoming one as an industrial psychologist requires a strong academic foundation. You need to study well, you need to do your research well, a foundation that is supervised. You can find mentors, you can approach people, reach out to people on how can you actually venture into this field or this career, and how can you be supervised by people who have experience in this field. And it is important as well to understand the ethical guidelines, ethical alignment of this profession, as it is also guided by the HPCSA professional registration as well. So industrial psychologist is ultimately about building better organization through better understanding of people. We work with people and the science of work as well, and the people for work and of work. So it is important that you actually update yourself, find mentors, find people who can mentor you, find people who can give you the information, reach out to people, to LinkedIn, reach out to universities that offer this thing, so that you are well informed of the field or the career in industrial psychology. It's a very, very interesting field. If you would like to venture into it, reach out to people, send your DMs on your LinkedIn and the sorts, so that you can be able to know how to navigate better in this field. Thank you so much. That is just all for my side.